Hello and welcome to today's NinjaTrader Ecosystem webinar event with Jason of Deer Creek Enterprises. My name is Thomas and I'm a platform representative here at NinjaTrader. Now, today's webinar is interactive, so if you'd like to ask questions during the event, please open the chat window. You can open the chat window by moving your mouse to the bottom of the Zoom window and pressing on the chat icon. Now, once you do have that chat window enabled, I would like to test for audio and video. So if you can hear my voice and see the projection on your screen, please enter a letter Y into that chat window now. All right, well, looks like I'm coming in loud and clear. Now, we have a very special event for you today with Jason of Deer Creek Enterprises. But before we get started, I would like to place a poll into the room. Now, while you fill out that poll, I would like to mention that it's important to understand that there's substantial risk in trading commodity futures contracts and Forex. You should carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you and it will depend on your circumstances and financial resources. It is possible to lose all funds deposited with your broker and could even incur losses beyond these amounts. Please inquire at the link provided for more information or for a copy of the CFTC full risk disclosure. Also, please remember that these training webinars are not a solicitation or a recommendation, but simply educational in nature. Now, this webinar today is presented by NinjaTrader LLC, which is the technology company responsible for developing and supporting the NinjaTrader software. Brokerage-related questions should be directed to the NinjaTrader brokerage team directly at the information provided. Now, thank you everyone for filling out that poll. Now, that poll asked what types of tools or services have you used from the NinjaTrader ecosystem? Now, 49% said indicators and strategies, 17% said education, 0% said programming services, and 33% said nothing yet. Now, the NinjaTrader ecosystem website is home to hundreds of apps, third-party apps and services, all centered around the NinjaTrader platform. With new tools added nearly every day, NinjaTrader ecosystem is home to hundreds of apps and services. You could quickly and easily find the tools and services you're looking for with a simple keyword search. You could also find information about upcoming webinars in an on-demand video archive at the link I'll be posting in the room. Now, for up-to-date information, be sure to follow and like the NinjaTrader ecosystem on social media. And NinjaTrader is always free for advanced charting, strategy backtesting, and trade simulation. To ensure you are on the latest version and to pick up a free live data trail, please visit the link I'll be posting in the room. And you could purchase or lease the NinjaTrader platform at the following link. And if you're just getting started with the NinjaTrader platform, we do offer live training on a daily basis. You can view a complete schedule of our weekly webinars at the link below. Now, we are very excited for this event today in which Jason will discuss how to use automated strategies and why he believes that using them is far superior to using manual strategies, even if they are the same strategy. Now, thank you again for your attendance today. And without further ado, it is my pleasure to welcome to the NinjaTrader webinar room, Jason. Please take it away, Jason. Hey, Jason, looks like you may be muted. So if you click the unmute button on the top of the banner, you should be able to unmute your microphone.
There we go. How's that? A little bit better?
That's perfect.
All right. Thank you, Thomas. I want to thank NinjaTrader for allowing me to have this. Also, thank everybody that's here. And I don't want to take a whole lot of your time. I know everybody's time is valuable. So I want to go over, who is Deer Creek Enterprises? Who am I? What do we do? And what do we do for traders? So again, my name is Jason. I'm a retired professional motocross, snowmobile racer, X Games athlete. Also have an engineering degree, uh, of which I work for the Department of Defense as well. And, after racing and working for other people, didn't really like it. So always had an interest in trading, started trading, and lost my tail tremendously. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, everything's been great. I lost a ton of money before I actually figured out what was going on and how to read the markets, and also programming of different things. So after learning how to trade properly and programming, I left my job, opened my company, and I've been doing it ever since. So basically, it's been about 9 years. I do automated strategies, build them for all kinds of clients, whether it be retail traders, banks, trading firms, etc. We also build a lot of our own, and we lease some of our own to clients as well. So, and by being a trader and also being able to program is, you don't get a lot of programmers that are really, really good traders, and you don't get a lot of traders that are really, really good programmers. So sometimes it's tough to interact with that. So if anybody that's here that, you've talked to different programmers or whatever, you might have had strategies, and sometimes it's tough to communicate with them. So when you're a professional trader, you know what's going on, and then you're building this stuff, it's much, much easier to be able to communicate with everyone, and also get programs that are working properly, and or if someone has ideas, help them with ideas. So what's the benefits of automated strategies? When we're using automated strategies, there's no emotion. We let the automated strategies do what they're supposed to do. When they are programmed properly, they're looking for certain parameters to enter, exit, if you use a stop limit, how far you want your targets, things of that nature. And a lot of times when we're trading, a lot of emotion comes in sometimes, because we may see something that we may back away, or emotionally just don't want to take it at the moment. And then the trade turns around and goes in our direction anyways. So by using a computer algorithm, it does everything for you. And if it enters, you let the trade do what it's supposed to do and go from there. So we do all kinds of different automated strategies for many different clients. Usually we have a pretty quick turnaround, within a week or so. Once everything is configured as to what the client is wanting, we build it, get it out, and make sure that everything is working. The program is guaranteed to work as to what the original scope of work is. So what does that mean? However a customer wants it to work, that's how it will work. It's never guaranteed to make money. That's not my job. That's not what we do here, to see if it makes money or not make money. If someone has interest to try to help in that arena, we can do that. But that's, usually there's more cost involved in that, because obviously it's a lot more time. But the program will work for however the customer wants it to do when they get it. And if there's any issues or anything with that, we always have customer support to be able to take care of that. So in learning how to trade, two of the guys that own this company called Target Trading Academy used to work, one worked on the floor, another one was a big bank trader, and they knew the ins and outs of trading. That is where I learned how to trade, and learning from floor traders is about the best place you can get it. So yes, you have to pay a little bit of money to get them to show you properly, but just like anything, when I was racing, or anyone that plays sports, anything, they just don't rise to the top without any kind of help among them. They always have to get someone superior to be able to help them along the way. This is no different. So all the automated strategies that we have, that I'm partnered with them with, we have a few different ones. One is called the Oracle bot. It's all programmed with specific parameters, which activates within an HVA, which is a high volume area. And that correlates to our market profile, which I'll get into just a little bit later. When that thing is turned on, basically it works exactly, does exactly what it's supposed to do. You don't have to do anything with it, tamper with it, anything. Targets, stops, everything comes out with it. So that's available for most all markets, micros as well. And most of it's in NinjaTrader 8. We do have some that are in 7, but I try to stay on 8, seeing it's the newest one. All the Oracle bots, they're leased yearly and quarterly. Also, if you do get one of the Oracle bots, there's a dedicated trade room, which I run. So I'm there all the time. So no one better than the trader that trades on it, and also the guy that builds it and maintains it, to have right there to be running the room. So if you've got questions, comments, anything, need any kind of assistance, it's always right there. So, and again, the high volume areas that we use, they are market maker levels, that mainly if you don't work on the floor or things of that nature, or work at a big bank, very, very tough to get access to how to be able to get them, analyze them, and be able to use them every day. So I'm gonna keep going here. Here's a picture of a Oracle bot that is in process here. This shaded area is what we call a high volume area. You can see how it activated right here, puts the risk, puts a stop, everything right there, puts your target there, where it's supposed to be. And all the targets are always configured for what the parameters of each individual market is and how it's actually reacting at that time. Here is another screenshot as well that we have. So along with the Oracle automated algorithms, we also have what is called the lightning bolt automated algorithm. This one is a little bit more sophisticated in a sense. It's looking for a lot of different parameters. It doesn't have to have an HVA that is involved to be able to activate. It can be activated many different times, depending on what the parameters are and what the market is doing. So basically you turn it on when you're looking for a trade, and when it is ready to fire, that thing fires, targets, everything are right there, and the trade moves one way or the other. It also has in the background what I call an auto flattening program, that if the market is moving in the direction and maybe it takes 1 or 2 markets off or targets off and everything starts to change a little bit, it will automatically flatten before the market comes back and gets your stop. So it doesn't happen all the time, but that is always there. And usually when it does auto flatten, about 95, 96% of the time, you're better that you had the auto flatten than if you just let it come back and get your stop. So this, if someone gets the automated strategy for the lightning bolt as well, you are also in my room. So which my room is all automated, and it's just for Ninja, for the Oracle and also the lightning bolt strategies. So here is a picture of the lightning bolt strategy. It's got a couple targets that are out there. In the bottom here, we've got a green light, which I also have an indicator that goes with this, which you'll see in a little bit why that green light is there. As the targets are taken off, the stop moves all by itself. There is no overriding whatsoever. So next slide, the indicators that we have for lease that we use in conjunction with our algos and also the high volume areas. One that we use a lot, which is a high frequency trading system, which is monitoring all kinds of different parameters to let us know what is happening within the market. Are we looking for buyers? Are we looking for sellers? Where is the market actually going to turn? So we use those all the time, looking at the high volume areas and also in conjunction with our algorithms. So we have two different ones that are on there. One is short-term trader and a long-term trader. Short-term trader, they're basically the guys that are looking just to turn the market a little bit and maybe run it 4, 5, 6 points quickly. And the longer term, they are looking for a longer term time frame where it may be maybe an hour or 2 hours. They're building a position to constantly keep adding in or just keep following the market up that they may be looking at for, maybe they're looking at it for the whole morning session or afternoon session or things of that nature where they come into play more. So, and again, it works on both sides, all different markets we have them on. So I do not have them for micros, although some people do use them for micros. Basically what they do is they just put, if they wanted to use it on the MES, for example, they would put this on the ES chart and overlay a MES chart over top of it. And, the MES basically follows the ES. Yeah, all the micros do. They may trade a tick or two off, but they're basically the same thing. Here is a picture, as you can see down here on the blue line down here. We have where the market has come down, started to pop up a little bit and come back down. And in the background, basically, the short term, which is the blue line here, and also the white, which is the long term, they are starting to rise and continuing to rise as price comes back down here a little bit, and boom, we get an explosion after that. Without having that there, do we know that that's going to take off in that direction or not? We may have an idea, but it's going to make it a lot harder. Here is another picture. This was, I believe, last week, 2 weeks ago, where I have circled here 3 different circles here on what we call the Hearst, which is a trending indicator, and also on the HFTs here. So on these HFTs, the short term is yellow, which I have them a couple different colors, depending on what people's charts might be. Some show up differently than others. As price came up here, and just before it started to turn, you can see that the HFTs started to go down, as well as the trending indicator started to turn and come out of the green and go out and tell us that it was going to stop trending here very shortly. It did. It came down when it got right here at the bottom of this shaded area, which is an HVA. The HFTs were already turning up before it turned right here to let us know that we could be looking for a buy signal, as well as when it was coming down, this already started to turn down here, the trending indicator, telling us that this current trend was over. It then turned and came down, trending indicator popped up, HFTs were way down on the bottom. They started to rise just right when the trending indicator started to turn at the bottom of this high volume area, which was going to be support, and it turned around and took off. So, from 68.10 the whole way up to 68.70, basically, pretty quickly. So they work very, very well. I use them every day, all day. We have many clients that use them, and they love them. Once you start using them and see how they work, they are what I call very cheap insurance. And I'm going to drag this chart right here in here real quick, just to show right here, 1432, where the market sold off here earlier. And yes, these shaded areas were drawn last night. You don't put them in there just to make them look fancy. They were drawn last night. Reversed off the top of this HVA up here. The market completely sold off here earlier today at 2:30 Eastern. Came down to this HVA, and because of the velocity, went through it a little bit, which is expected. The HFTs were already telling us that it was looking to turn and go back up. It was getting bullish, as well as this Hearst trend indicator was already telling us that the trend was over and it should start going up. And within 4 minutes, the ES popped 12 points or so, 10, 12 points. So that is, very, very good and valuable information to have all the time when you're looking at trading. So again, we use it all the time. Just another picture, how the market is down here, down here. HFTs are now starting to rise and go back up. Boom, market takes off. And we see this every day, multiple markets, numerous times per day. So aside from the HFTs and the Hurst indicator, we also have indicator, which I talked about earlier, which is the lightning bolt algorithm. Basically, I have an indicator that lets you know when the lightning bolt would be taking a trade, whether it be a long side or short side. It does not have the automated targets, entries, stops, things of that nature that come out. That is for every individual. If you got your own strategy, your own number of ticks, whichever you want to use. We have the indicator as well, which, as you can see down here, has a green light or red light. If the short is on, then it would be on the left side of the chart and let you know which way you want to be looking. Why do I have this? And also the algorithm. It's cheaper than the algorithm. But the algorithm, obviously has a lot more advantages with the entries that automatically go in and out all the time with auto flattening and things of that nature. So, and one other indicator I want to show here is I've talked about the HVAs, market profile, how we get them. And there's many different ways of how market profile can be conformed, converted. Again, when you work with people and get taught with people that have been on the floor and traded big money at banks, that lets you know, they know exactly what you're looking for, how to set up the proper market profile, things of that nature. So when we use them, every day, and we draw them at the end of the day, myself, and then also the co-owner of Target Trading Academy. He draws them as well for a different platform, but they are all the same. I have a program that automatically puts it on your charts every day. As soon as I'm done with it, they are good for all that night, the whole next morning, and the whole pit session for many, many different markets. We do right about 14 or 15 markets right now is what we're doing. We do some of the micros as well. So once that is installed, they automatically populate on your chart. You never have to draw another area again. You don't have to know, is this a good area or not a good area when you're looking at charts or many different charts. These are all market maker levels that come up within 60 seconds, and they are updated all the time. I have my own server, so everything is converged right into my own server. And they work with all different markets. I'll drag another one in here. This is just from today. Just at the end of the day, as we can see here at 1534, that HVA right there, YM went up to it, turned around, sold right off. Come to the bottom of it, went up. Come back, went through it a little bit, shot right up. I mean, this happens all day, every day. All these levels, I drew all these last night. They were put on all the clients' charts last night automatically, and there they are. 2:30 p.m., market sold off. Into YM, where did it go? Right to that level and turned around and went right back up. So having the right levels, one is, that's where you got to start to know where to get in, where not to get in. And once you have those levels and you combine that with the proper indicators and or algorithms and or if you package them together, that is where one can be very dangerous in trading. And when I say dangerous, I mean dangerous in a good way, where you know exactly where you're looking at, what to look for, and let the algorithms take over and do their job. This is just another example of the levels that we have. This was back in July. Fed announcement. As soon as it come out, where did it turn? Right at the HVA level. Where did it turn and go back up and stall and start to come back? Right at the HVA level that we drew the day before. So having all these areas the day before is crucial, saves everyone tons of time. So, and the automatic HVAs, they work on many different markets that we also draw them on micros as well. I think there's about 4 different micros that we're drawing them on. So having all that information is very, very valuable for any trader all the time. If you don't know where to get in, then technically you should not be getting in the market. So you need to have the proper things. So we're running a special of everything, all strategies that, if you have an idea and you have a strategy you're using and you want to get it automated or need a little bit of help to get it automated, maybe you got 70 or 80% of it and you need some extra help to get it there. 20% off all regular pricing. When you use the code, which is on the next page. Also, our partners at Target Trading Academy, they are also basically offering 20% off everything that they have. They do a tremendous amount of teaching as to what to look for, how to look for, things of that nature with trading any futures, doesn't matter what market, how to read the market. So we worked, Deer Creek Enterprises works hand in hand with Target Trading Academy with our automated systems and indicators. And they do, a great job of teaching the students on what to do and what not to do. So anything that they have is also 20% off all their live trading rooms, things of that nature. HFT indicators normally are $3,000 for the year. If you use a webinar special, they're $2,500. Oracle bot, if you get the Oracle bot, you get 2 trading rooms. You get my room, and then you also get a market profile room as well, which they do a lot of teaching to show you how to do the market profile, how to draw it from start to finish. So at some point, you don't need anybody. You can do everything on your own, and you don't need any live trading rooms at all. And then also you're in, my automated algorithm room as well. So I teach you how to use it, when to use it, when not to use it, things of that nature. Lightning bolt strategy, again, is usually $12,000 a year. We're offering it for $9,000 a year, or if you wanted to get it quarterly, $2,500 per quarter. And that also, you have access to my room all the time. If you need me, I'm always there. Indicator, $2,500 per year, which is cheaper than the automated algorithm, but again, you don't get the automated entries, targets, things of that nature that come out. And everything in the auto HVA program that we use, we're offering a special at $2,200 per year, regularly $2,400. And again, that's every night they get put on your charts and they are good for the next day. And you're just seeing how they use and work. And I'm going to drag this chart in here really quick. This, if you see these colors that are right here, these are some of the trades that the Oracle took earlier today. This is ES. Now, obviously, we're at the end of the day. That was a stop. This was a stop here. This target was filled. This target was filled. If you see up here at 1538, you see a blue line, but there's nothing there. It's because the strategy and the algorithm disqualified it because everything did not line up properly, so it disqualified it. Here's another disqualification. Here's another disqualification. Here is at 1439, 1, 2, 3 in a row, right there, winners. And yes, these are just set to 1 or 2 at the moment, but that's what they are. And I had this running. I was not babysitting it. I was not doing anything else, working on other things. I just left the thing alone. And that's what the results are for today. Here's another stop. But then we had one that was disqualified here at this HVA. We had another one up here at 1427, went right to the top of the HVA, and the Oracle bot took a trade and got a target. So, I'm showing you this because no, they're not always winners, right? But at the end of the day,
Order submitted.
usually they are working very, very well. There's another one that was a winner, another one disqualified, another one disqualified, another one disqualified. So when you see a lot of these disqualifications, they're disqualified for a reason. Not many programs are just going to disqualify things. So we put a lot of time, energy, and our trading experience into making sure that these things are proper, right, and we use them every day. Okay, we're not trying to sell something that we don't use. We use them every day, all the time. And everything can be financed. If you wanted to finance it monthly, no matter what it was, that can all be financed as well. So, and it really, to become a professional at anything, it takes time, it takes a lot of energy, and focus to be able to do it. If we go, people that go to college, you don't get your degree the second day that you're there. So that, you get with the right people that know what they're doing, teach you how to do it, and have the right techniques and the right items to use and help you along the way. That is how one becomes a professional in anything. So, and next page here, last page I'm going to show is just going to be, the info. My company, Deer Creek Enterprises Incorporated.com. You can go to my website, and to get anything, there's links that are on there to click on anything, which will take you to, a few different pages, depending on what you want. If you wanted to email me and you got questions, that is my email, jason@deercreekenterprisesinc.com. And if you want to go direct and get any of the indicators and or strategies, automated strategies that we have, if you click on this link right here, and I will put all these in the chat box here very quickly, that you can click on them and go right there. Also, one other quick note, our partner Target Trading Academy, they have mastermind events where they have all the teachers, all the instructors come together for a couple days and have clients and everyone else that fly in to give them special training, special techniques, things that are used all the time. They are having one September 23rd to 25th in Austin, Texas. There should be some good weather down there at that time. I will be there as well, helping everyone with any algorithms, indicators, things of that nature that I build and we maintain. Also helping everyone with the Ninja platform, specifically if you need to get it set up a little bit different and kind of help along the way. But it is a great atmosphere, and everyone that goes to these, they walk away, their minds are blown at the end as to the different trading techniques, strategies, things of that nature. So if you are interested in that, you can, go to my website and email, or you can go right to targettradingacademy.com as well. Anything that you want to get, if you're interested, use this code right here. I will put this in the chat box, Ninja Web 2021 DC. So that way you'll be sure to get your promotional discount. And normally we only do the promotional discounts for a day or so, but we're going to run it until Monday. So I will put that in the chat box here real quick for the code, and also what the email or websites are. So if we have any questions, I can go ahead and answer them here quickly. Type these in here real quick. And yes, in the chat box, if you have questions about the mastermind, there is a message in there. Email joe@targettradingacademy.com, and he will be able to help you with that. Let me scroll back to the questions and try to hopefully not miss any. Did you raise two? Now, actually, I raced the two strokes, 125s in the nationals, but 125s and 250s in the regional events. So I'm a little older. I'm 45, so I didn't get to race any of the 450s. Does the Oracle have an auto flattening? No, the Oracle does not have an auto flattening. So that it does not, although it can be overrode. For example, if there is a target that is in and we know it's coming to a known support or resistance level, and our target is just above it, we can move that down just a little bit. So that way we're sure that we get filled. So, Gene, does it show divergent signal? And I'm assuming you're probably asking about the HFT indicator. It's not a divergent signal. And that indicator, it's not a divergence indicator. It's basically telling us who is in charge of the market and which direction do we want to go. Is it basically bullish, or, is it bearish? And when it starts to change from one to another, especially at a support zone, for example, if it's been bearish and the market comes down to it, and then it really starts to turn bullish at a support level, now we have two things that are together, right? We have, these HVAs that we draw every day, high volume areas that we know are support and resistance. And if we're at one of those and our HFTs are starting to turn up, well, then we want to look for a long. We want to start looking for a long to go with it, because that's usually going to be bullish. Is there any trial to use any of the indicators? No, we do not have any trial periods for the indicators. We don't use a trial period because once one gets an indicator and or algorithm, whatever it might be, whether it's ours, whether it's someone else's, there's always going to be a little bit of a learning curve. So if someone gets it, for example, for a couple days, we don't know how the markets are going to act. So the next couple of days, the markets may not act very well, and or there may not be many signals for it to work properly. So therefore, you may get false signals when you may not fully understand it. But normally, as with anything, it takes a little bit of time to really learn it and understand it, and then you can really get the understand exactly what it's doing, how it's doing. So, Freddie, we have to pay for the algorithm. But if you can rewrite that a little bit, or if you're asking if you have to pay for the algorithm, so yes, that was the prices that went over a little bit earlier. And if somebody wants, for example, the automated HVA program that puts it right on your charts every day, and an HFT indicator or an algorithm that we lease or whatever, if you get a couple things together, we can always do a little bit of a bundle deal as well. So, so it works on the ES. What would be the issue was using it on the MES, Alex. So I'm not sure if you're referring to the automated algorithm and or the HFT or Hearst possibly. So even though the MES basically is the same price as what the ES, there's different volume, there's different parameters, there's a lot of different things that are going on between the two different markets, okay? And if we're looking at any of them, the ES, the big markets, the ES, the NQ, YM, or CL, whichever, they're the dog that wags the tail, okay? They're the ones that's going to make the decision, because that's where the big money's going to. The big players, they're not really putting it in the smaller contracts. So you can take advantage of using it with that on the smaller contracts and the micros, but it just, the parameters are different, and they're not proper sometimes. So we put a lot of time into trying to get them to work properly, but I'm just not happy with them with that. They work
Order submitted
extremely well just by laying over the main market. So HVAs are the areas where most trading of the session has occurred. And I'm going to say your name, and hopefully I don't botch it here. Excuse me. Me. So it can be over a period of time, but again, one has to learn what is that period of time, how do you get that period of time, and how do you really acclimate within the HVAs or the market profile, what is an HVA, what isn't. So that is, usually there is concentration in there, and that's what we're looking for, because if the market is out of balance or not in one of those areas, it's normally going to head to one of those areas. So knowing exactly where those areas are and where the edges are is very important, because normally when it gets to one of the edges, it's normally going to retract to go the other way. Gene, do you happen to accept monthly payments? Yes, we do. We accept monthly payments for everything. So if you go to the address there that I put in, the targettradingacademy.com, the bots, indicators, and trade assist software, you could get more information there and talk to one of the consultants that can also help you with that. So, Michael, is your program compatible with Mac users? If you're running Ninja on a Mac, it can work on a Mac. Yes. So it's going to work on the platform, whether it's Windows or Mac. I have some customers that use it on Mac. The only issue that we do have sometimes with Mac users is the Mac PC, depending on what your parameters are, it may change your machine ID for the NinjaTrader platform. So we just have to, there's a few different codes you just have to put in to make sure that that doesn't change all the time. That's all. So can we get them by paying through cryptocurrencies? No, we are currently not accepting any cryptocurrencies at the moment. So Joel, can I make custom bots? Yes, I can. Whatever you want, however you want it, I can make it do whatever you want it to do. If it's a strategy you're using, I can make it automated. And that's, to me, 99.5% of my trading is all automated, because there's no emotion. The parameters are set to what it should be for the market, and we're waiting for them to go. And when they are tuned properly, they normally work extremely well. Rajveer, what should be the position size of the contracts to run the indicator algo? That is all up to you. It depends on what you're comfortable with and what you're normally doing. Normally, I would say 3. You can do it with 2, but really 3 is about the best, or the lowest, I want to say. I normally run them on 4 targets, but it can be done with 3, because you don't want to get your risk versus reward out of balance. But it all depends on, kind of what your strategy is as well. So, Jim, when will this recording be available? I know Ninja usually has them available within a day or 2 on the website. So if you check the website, they will have them up there, I'm sure. So, Jason, do you run the Oracle room or someone else? No, I run the Oracle room all the time, as well as with the automated lightning bolts strategy. So again, if you get any one of those algorithms, you will be in my room all the time. Normally I trade mainly in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon, and I leave the charts up in the afternoon, but mainly in the morning. And if there's questions, comments, anything, I'm always there available to help. Do you have performance of your algos for at least 2 years? So that's always a loaded question, Anton.
Order canceled.
Because throughout the day, I'm on the phone, in people's computers, things of that nature, and sometimes I'm not able to catch every trade that the algorithm is going to do. Okay, so there is no, performance reviews. Although if you do go to Target Trading Academy and even look at their Facebook page, they have a lot of the success that is on there as to everyday traders, every day, trading off these high volume areas and or different algorithms that we use. Lewis, can we sit in on the trade room to see how it works? Normally we do let some people come in for a day or two pending when it is. That would be, I know it's in here, address for Joe at targettradingacademy.com. If you can email him, he can take care of that. So Rob FX Skyper, does the Lightning Bolt automated system recognize trading using the HVAs or the HVA completely separate from the LBS? So the Lightning Bolt does not need to trade in an HVA area. So a Lightning Bolt trade, a lot of times in one market, Lightning Bolt algorithm is going to have more trades throughout the day normally than just what the Oracle would. But sometimes the risk to reward is not as much. So it all depends on, it also kind of depends on the type of trader you are as well a little bit. So, Joe, did you say you had an indicator that it has a red light, green light for when the market is short or long? Or were you saying the Lightning Bolt has a green, red light? So the Lightning Bolt algorithm has a red and green light that is on it that lets you know when you turn the algorithm on, it is red. When it fires, it turns green. Most people do not see it on the algorithm because they already see the targets and stop and everything else of what the market is doing with that. The indicator, which does exactly the same thing as that with those parameters, it just doesn't have the automated entries for the targets and put your order and stuff in. That has to be done manually. Those lights are there. So when you see a red light turn to green, especially at a support zone, that's when you want to hit your manual button to get in. Is the price for single user or for a small team like 3 users, Freddie? That is for a single user. The Oracle is for 3 to 4 different markets, and everything else is for each market because every indicator and or algo is specifically tuned for each individual market. You can't have the same parameters for oil that you would have for ES. Okay, it doesn't work. So Joshua, please, I asked if you could provide a platform to teach individuals how to program algos. I do not teach programming because I'm so busy with everything else all the time. But if you do have a few select questions, you're more than glad to email me and go from there. Reg Beer, back testing results like number of trades per day, number of winners, losers, consequent number of winners, and numbers of losers in a row. That it all depends on the market and how's the market reacting. Okay. Today we had a lot of movement in the ES, right? And we see all these areas where the price went to and from all these different HVAs, right? Lots of times in August when the market is dead, it doesn't move this much, okay? So it all depends, but you can see all day and all morning how it came to these different levels right here and bounced off these levels, okay? So it depends on the market. It depends on the day. And today's results are not going to be what tomorrow's results would be because they would all be different. If we could predict that, nobody would ever have a job anymore, right? So I wish I could predict that. Don't see any of the links. All the links I did post them. You may have to scroll up a little bit. But they are up at the 4:49 time frame level Eastern, if you're looking at that. And what's the week monthly profit percentage in the algo? Again, that all depends on which algo, and that all depends on when when are you trading versus when I'm trading or some of the other clients are trading. So maybe I'm trading from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern, and you might be trading basically just a pit session. So, there's no valid answer for that. What I can tell you is these things, they work very well. We use them every day, all day. And if you had one or two trades a day that these things work, how they work, whether you're using just getting the HVAs or you're using the algorithms and or indicators and everything combined, they pay for themselves very quickly. With only one or two trades a day, if you waited and was patient and used the right process, they work extremely well. So, and sometimes percentages do not, they don't dictate how well something runs. If you have something that may be 75 or 80%, well, you may win at 75 or 80%, but what exactly is the profit loss from that percentage? If you don't have the right risk versus reward, it doesn't matter what that is. And before I turned profitable as a trader, I can tell you, I used to have a 75% win ratio every month, and I was losing money every month. So having the proper algos and indicators work great. And in my room a couple months ago, I had 4 trades in the NASDAQ. The first 3 were losers. The fourth one was a winner. And I trade pretty big size, 18, 24 contracts, but they were all 18 contracts. So my win-loss ratio was 25% winning. And after those 4 trades, I was up $480. So a percentage doesn't really dictate how well something works. It's, what's the win, the risk reward, and how well is it taking it and where is it taking it? So, so the Oracle will let you get an education on the volume profile, also using Presto, the Oracle will use the edges as you draw. Yes, so if you get the Oracle, if you were to get the Oracle algorithm and or bot, again, you get 2 rooms. You get my room, of which it's in there all the time, and I'm teaching you how to use it, when to use it, everything else. You also get a market profile room, which is teaching you what you're looking for within trading all the time, and why are those areas there, and how can you do them, and how can you put them there. So all I see is Joe's email. So yes, I will list them in here again, James. What's the average return on month? You can mention when you trade, Roshan. Again, that all depends on what you're trading, how much you're trading, how many lots you're trading, time frames you're trading, what markets you're trading. So there's no real answer for that. So, and when you say room, is it like a Discord link of a group of people? We are all professionals that are in there. Sometimes, depending on what room, there might be 100 or 200 or 300 in a room. They're all running all day long. So, and the professional traders, including myself, we are running the rooms, helping everyone with their trading to try to enchant them to get better. So whether they're retired, want to retire, working a job, tired of working for someone else and don't want to work for someone else, we teach you, how to get away from that and be your own boss. So, Joe, but you do not get Presto just for getting the Oracle. No, sir. You do not get the automated HVAs just for getting the Oracle. You do get access to seeing the HVAs that you can draw on your chart yourself, but you do not get the automated HVAs. That is extra. RTH for trade, average winner. I already answered, the average winner, loser, it all depends, and I showed you that chart, and I'll pull this one down again. It's got losers, it's got winners. So right? We show all our winners, losers. We're not going to tell you that we don't lose. We lose, but we win a heck of a lot more than we're going to lose. Okay. Rajbir, can these strategies run automatically on Ninja and work with interactive brokers? As a broker, AP Bridge. It will work on the platform. So you have to have the Ninja platform, okay? The NT8 platform. And, you know, all algorithms, you do have to, you know, turn them on and off as well. So, you know, there is no algorithm in the world. And again, I build them for banks. I build algorithms for trading firms, big trading firms. There is no algorithm that you can just turn on at 6 o'clock in the morning and walk away and go to lunch and come back at 4 p.m. and automatically going to have, you know, 5 or 10 or 20 grand or whatever their number might be in your account. Okay. Because if it was that easy, everyone would be doing it. There'd be hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions, every day just turning it on and using it. Right. If that did occur, as soon as that happened, people like myself and other people that, you know, look at programs, pick programs apart, we would pick that apart and then that program would never work again. So just keep that in mind. So, and if there's no other questions, I'm going to hand it back over to NinjaTrader. And again, I thank everybody for attending. I hope you learned something. If you have questions, feel free to ask us. And we'll be glad to help you, no matter if that is building an indicator and or program, or if that is leasing one of ours and or being in one of our rooms. And I will send this back over to you, Thomas. And I'm going to put the links in here as well very quickly.
All right. Well, I would like to thank everyone. A special thank you to Jason of Deer Creek for a great presentation today. Everyone in attendance here today will receive an on-demand recording of today's event, so please keep an eye out for that email. Now, NinjaTrader Ecosystem is pleased to sponsor these weekly vendor events as a value-added service for our clients. If you find value in these events, we hope you will attend them on a regular basis. We would like to remind you that the information provided was that of Deer Creek Enterprises and not of NinjaTrader. All information was for educational purposes and should not be construed as trading advice. Again, we appreciate the time you spent with us today. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we hope to see you in future webinars. Happy trading from all of us here at the NinjaTrader Ecosystem.